He has struggled with this for a while. I think he said it pretty well in terms of how he feels and, how his body feels at any point in time in terms of his eating and sleeping and so forth. So his energy level isn't where it needs to be. He's pretty transparent about how he feels. And so we're just trying to help him, feel better.
Did he try to kind of fight through it because he wanted to?
He's always
didn't
done
want to let
it.
people down, maybe.
He's always done that. He's always been able to. He dealt with this in high school. He's always been able to kind of fight through. Pretty tough kid, in that sense, and pretty focused. So he would lock into the game plan and really work on certain things that he thought would be effective. But I think it's been really hard for him the last couple of weeks.
Fred, how do you balance being his head coach and his father?
Well, I think father first, just concerned about his well-being. But then, try to help him. Like, so if he's struggling in the game, coach him up.
Sure.
And then, assess, where he is physically. Then that, of course, is going to affect his minutes. If his stamina is an issue, which it has been, recently. So we just keep an eye on it.
Fran, I think a lot of players would just say they're taking a leave of absence due to personal reasons, but Patrick was very transparent and thorough with the way he feels. I mean, were there conversations about just being transparent with the public and trying to lead by example about, continuing to normalize the stigma?
There was, and we talked about it at length. Quite honestly, my first inclination was to keep it simple and, not be vague, but just very simple and work through it. It was really his and, quite frankly, Connor's thoughts were to be open about it and discuss it directly, which I agreed with, and they of course talked it over with their mother as well. And I think they felt it's more important to, I think in terms of how everybody views it, but I think more importantly, his teammates in the locker room needed to know specifically what was going on. And so he addressed them first, and then felt it was important to, as you said, be transparent. Okay, this is how I feel, and this is why I'm struggling. And then we all sat down with Matt and constructed how he was going to verbalize it. And I thought he did a really good job of that. I think it's important. The outpouring of support has been tremendous from a variety of different people we know, people we don't know, many of whom are experiencing the same things and going through the same struggles. And I think that's helpful for all of us. And so we'll just take it day by day right now.
Well, I'll build on what you just said. I mean, it's been less than 24 hours since this has been public, but it does look like there's been an overwhelming response, entirely not only supportive, but people saying, I know what you're going through. In a roundabout way, could this, turn out to be a real positive for people?
Well, I hope so, Mike. I've gotten so many messages from folks that said, okay, I've been dealing with this. People that I know that I never knew were dealing with it. My son is dealing with it. I have two daughters, both of whom are dealing with it. So, I think when you're in that position, I think you feel very alone. You're the only one, going through it. But then when you find out that there's so many people in every walk of life, Kevin Love has been very open about it. Lane Johnson from the Eagles. I mean, there's so many high-profile professional athletes that have gone through this. I'm sure a lot of them have gone through it, never said anything. You know, we're kind of programmed to be that way. We just keep battling, and we don't say anything. We just compete. But you know, it's something that is real, and you know, we are in a position, I think, as a program, as an institution, with the resources we have around here, to help him. You know, one of the best hospitals in the world, some of the best professionals available to him, and he's taking advantage of that. We are. So very thankful for that we're here. You know, we said the same thing when he went through his cancer surgeries and treatment. We were lucky to be here. So you know, we'll get there.
I think, you know, say he's taking a leave of absence. Is he away from the team entirely, or is he with the team, or how is that going to work?
He does not want to be either.
Yeah.
You know, and I wondered about that because, you know, sometimes, you know, when you take a leave of absence, that's what that means, right? You remove yourself from the situation. He's removing himself from the competition part, but it was important to him, and he verbalized this to his teammates, that he remain supportive of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so he'll be at practice today. He'll be at the game tomorrow. He'll travel with us to New Jersey. You know, so that was important to him. Yeah.
He's always been such a joyful guy. Did you sense any of that joy kind of diminishing this year at all, or is
No,
that,
I think that's, you guys have been around him, and he's the guy that makes everybody laugh.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you were with us at dinner, team dinner the night before the Penn State game, he's the one that's joking and laughing, and they're all laughing with him. You know, I think there are different times when it manifests itself. Typically in the morning and at nighttime, late. Pretty much during the day, he's fine. If you're around him. But it does affect his eating and sleeping, which is certainly going to affect his performance.